Welcome, lore enthusiasts. I'm your host, Tamrielic Stories, and welcome to Stories of the Scrolls. Today, we'll discover the story of Umbra. Umbra, a sword that has a piece of the soul of Clavicus Vile. The thing is, it seems to have a mind of its own, and even has its own city, which at one point appeared above Tamriel from the Ptolemaic Ocean southeast of Blackmarsh. Considering the soul has a mind of its own, it's more trouble than it's worth, really. Now, what is Umbra really? Well, Umbra was created as the Umbra sword. Now, it's either a part of Clavicus Vile that gained its own sentience, kind of like barbers with the blade, but whether this was accidental by design or the entity inside of the sword would create Clavicus' power, we do not know. What we do know is that the entity created a body for itself, but it was unable to get out of Clavicus' realm. To finally escape from the realm, the entity that calls itself Umbra made a pact with the Dumber mage Vuhan to break out of oblivion into Tamriel along with the city Umbriel. The Umbra sword was created by Nainra Ware to trap souls at Clavicus Vile's request. As a part of the creation process, Vile imbued it with a part of his essence or another entity of his creation. The essence or entity would eventually overtake the wielders and become the driving force in their lives, essentially driving them insane with an insatiable bloodlust and craving for souls because of the sword. At some point, Umbra, still in its sword form, managed to cut a piece of Clavicus Vile himself. This made Umbra incredibly powerful, almost as powerful as Clavicus, who in turn strengthened the borders of his realm to keep Umbra trapped in the fields of regret. Umbra stole some of Clavicus' power, weakening the prince. Umbra fled into one of the cities in the realm to avoid capture. After the ingenium that kept the Ministry of Truth afloat above the big city exploded, the ministry was catapulted into oblivion and ended up in Vile's realm. Umbra took advantage of the situation and tossed the blade, so the sword, through the rift that the ingenium opened up. The sword fell into the city. It was found by Ethel Sathel, who was driven mad as soon as he touched the sword. Then, Umbra took Sol and Vuhan captive. Vuhan promised in exchange for his life he would help Umbra escape by building a new ingenium, powered by the essence that Umbra stole from Clavicus. This made it possible for Umbra city Ubriel to escape Vile's realm. Umbra and Vuhan merged into one being and could control Umbriel. They drove through many realms and places beyond oblivion and eventually ended up in Tamriel. Then the Umbriel crisis. First, let me describe Umbriel. Umbriel is a floating island, ripped straight from the realm of Clavicus Vile that feels regret. It's speculated that Umbriel is the place where the Hist originate from. Personally, I do not buy into that theory because it seems that the Hist were the first sentient being on Tamriel, way before Argonians and Khajiit. Umbriel exists within a bubble of oblivion and is described as an upside-down cone. Inside of Umbriel is a cone-shaped valley with a lake called the Sump. Runners cut into the valley for workers and lesser denizens, and for the lords of Umbriel, they have splendid palaces, and every lord has its own kitchen. At the very tops of the city are the homes of the highest lords. On the rim at the very top there is a thick forest of trees very similar to the Hist. This is the main reason that people think that Umbriel is the place that the Hist originate from. The Lord of Umbriel is Vuhan merged with Umbra. Before Umbriel appeared above Tamriel, Vuhan merged with Umbra and made a deal with a man called Hiernam, the chief minister under the rule of Titus Mede I, to summon Umbriel into Tamriel. But Vuhan and Umbra could not leave the city because it was still a piece of Clavicus' realm, which remained reinforced. Umbra and Vuon tried to get to the White Gold Tower to break File's barrier around the floating city, but decided to take the city north into Morrowind to find the Umbra Sword, because it could be used to destroy Umbra and the Ingenium that powers Umbriel. Whilst the island was floating across Black March, two people, a Breton woman, Annie Hoynart, and an Argonian Murglem, attempted to stop Umbriel by reaching it, but they got captured and enslaved to work for the lords of Umbriel. Meanwhile, in the Imperial City, Prince Atrebus Mead found a mechanical bird that belonged to Anaik. Through this bird, Atrebus was able to have contact with Anaik. After Anaik explained the situation to Atrebus, he set out with his guard unit to stop Umbriel, but was betrayed and sold into slavery by his closest female guard, Racha, who Atrebus had an intimate relationship with. Atrebus was saved by a gunman named Saul, who explained that they have a shared destiny to stop Umbriel, to which Atrebus added to save the woman that is trapped on it. The whole journey you can read about in the Elder Scrolls novels The Infernal City and Lord of Souls. In the end, Saul and Prince Atrebus were able to find the Umbra Sword and use it to destroy the Ingenium. Then, Fuon's body twisted, deformed, and grew blacker. Umbra was now in full control of Fuon's body and strangulated Saul. Yet, after some time, the Umbra Sword finished destroying the Ingenium, and Umbra was trapped in the blade. Clavicus Val possessed Atrebus, and he wielded Umbra against Saul. With his last breath, Saul grabbed the hilt of Umbra and pulled himself up on the blade, and with everything left in him, he struck Atrebus in the jaw. Atrebus released the sword and regained himself, and he was able to leave Umbriel along with Anaik and eventually married her. That was the story of Umbra and Umbriel. If you enjoyed this video, a like on the video would be very much appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what topic you would like to learn about in the comments below. Until we meet again, lore enthusiasts, tell us guide you.